the brain from a reactive mode to a proactive, growth-oriented one. Furthermore, goal-oriented tasks, which are central to Snyder's definition of hope, are associated with distinct activation patterns in brain regions like the motor cortex, premotor cortex, parietal cortex, anterior cingulate cortex (ACC), and supplementary motor area (SMA). This suggests a neural basis for how the cognitive components of hope, setting goals and planning pathways, are translated into focused attention and planned action. Hope, therefore, is an activating of change, not a passive emotion. It shapes how individuals engage with their world by propelling them to act, plan, and persist. See The Paradox of Hope and Navigating Disappointment. While hope is predominantly a positive force, its lived experience can also present complexities and challenges. The paradox of hope is illustrated in studies such as one involving black college students, where higher levels of hope were associated with experiencing more stress in response to racial discrimination. However, this same hope also proved beneficial for their academic integration despite such discrimination. This suggests that hope is not a simple shield against adversity. Its interaction with challenging realities can be nuanced. A high degree of hope, perhaps if coupled with an expectation of fairness, might make discriminatory experiences more jarring and stressful, even while it fuels perseverance in other domains. There is also what has been termed a dark side and spiral of hope. If deeply held hopes for specific outcomes do not materialize, the result can be significant suffering, including disappointment, sadness, anger, and a cascade of negative thoughts. Faith and trust that are conditional, that is, contingent upon the achievement of particular desired outcomes, are described as brittle. Such faith can be shattered by life's inevitable difficulties, such as financial ruin, broken relationships, illness, or other tragedies, potentially leading to a loss of faith altogether. This highlights that the quality of hope matters significantly. Unrealistic or rigidly held hopes, particularly for outcomes beyond one's control and without the capacity for existential flexibility, the ability to adapt pathways while maintaining a core purpose can lead to increased stress or profound disappointment. Theological conceptions of hope address this by emphasizing that it is not mere optimism. It acknowledges that hardships and severe trials may lie on the path to ultimate fulfillment. However, it provides confidence that these can be overcome through reliance on a higher power, e.g., Christ, rather than solely on the expectation of favorable circumstances. Such hope safeguards against both presumption and unwarranted certainty of success and despair and complete loss of hope. A more resilient form of faith and trust, and by extension a more resilient hope, is one that can accommodate any possible outcome, not just those that are personally desired. existential flexibility, and perhaps a deeper grounding in values or beliefs that can absorb specific disappointments without collapsing the entire structure of meaning. Cultivating wise hope, a hope that is both aspirational and adaptable, is therefore as important as cultivating hope itself. BI Reflections on cultivating a hopeful existence. The exploration of hope's origins, its interplay with inspiration and faith, and its transformative potential culminates in a practical consideration: how can a hopeful existence be cultivated? The evidence suggests that hope is not merely a passive state bestowed by fortune, but an active orientation that can be consciously chosen, nurtured, and developed through intentional practices and supportive conditions. A. The conscious choice and cultivation of hope. Hope, in many respects, can be learned and cultivated. It is described as an attribute that can be cultivated, and a choice, an orientation of the spirit. This implies that individuals possess agency in fostering hope within their lives. Practical strategies for cultivating hope abound and often involve a multifaceted approach. These include setting clear, achievable goals, particularly micro-goals, that build momentum and a sense of accomplishment. Focusing on the present moment, practicing gratitude for what one has, and actively seeking out sources of inspiration, be it through stories of resilience, engagement with the arts, or connection with nature, can shift one's mindset from scarcity to abundance and possibilities. Taking care of one's physical and mental well-being through adequate rest, nutrition, and exercise also contributes to a hopeful state of mind, as does engaging in acts of kindness, which can boost one's own sense of hope and happiness by reaffirming the good in the world. Living a values-based life, where daily actions are aligned with a deeper sense of purpose, is intrinsically linked to hope, as purpose provides direction and meaning, thereby fostering resilience. This suggests that cultivating hope is an integrated practice, involving cognitive strategies, goal setting, positive reframing, behavioral actions, proactivity, seeking support, kindness, emotional regulation, managing disappointment, practicing gratitude, and often an existential or spiritual orientation centered on purpose, faith, and core values. B. The interplay of personal agency and external support. Grace. The cultivation of hope involves a dynamic interplay between personal agency and the influence of external factors, whether human support or divine grace. Psychological models of hope, such as Snyder's theory, place strong emphasis on personal agency, the belief in one's capacity to initiate action and find